من شر سيئات أعمالنا من يهدي الله فلا مضل له مضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمد رسول الله. Brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum, brother Muhammad. And actually, Muhammad, we just spoke about very important topic, especially this year. We speak our youth, our kids, especially the youth. Actually, most likely the youth and some parents. I don't want to say all the parents.
No, some parents.
Some parents. We have how to protect ourselves, how to have self-defense, not was fighting here, with our brain.
Yeah.
With our brain. And if our brain, especially our kids in our brain straight, we don't care about anything. We need something, especially the social media, especially social media.
Yeah, social media
especially sometimes the phone, disaster. For example, not only that, people in Detroit and New Jersey, kids got killed in the gas station.
Yeah.
So how to guide here, not to our kids, how to speak to the parents to guide their kids about the danger outside. Especially after September 11, we are targeted. What's going on right now, especially what happened in Gaza and this and ICE and our new president, become more dangerous.
A lot of hate.
A lot of hate. But alhamdulillah, the word al-Islam, the peace, the religion of peace, alhamdulillah. We're not fighting, I'm fighting.
But they don't tell that on the news.
Yeah.
They don't explain that.
Brother, this advice here for all the parents here, how to really to guide our parents, number one, to speak to the kids in a nice way about protection, self-defense, not about fighting.
No, number one. It's not just about fighting.
And also how to our kids watching you, how to give advice for them and have the dangers of that, not protecting ourselves.
Yeah. So I think let's start with situational awareness, right? Understanding where you are, when you are. You're at the gas station, you're at the grocery store, you're at getting a haircut, you're going to the movies, you're out and about doing things with your family, and restaurants or wherever you're going. So understanding where you're at, right? Let's talk about that first, then we'll do social media.
Okay.
All right. Because I think understanding where you're at with your family is a big deal. So working in the field that I've been working in for over the 20 years that I've been working, I was able to talk to a lot of the people that have done these bad things, the people who rob, the people who steal, the people who kidnap, the people who do these things. You have many books online you can probably purchase on Amazon.
This is very important. He dealt with this to solve the problem in the prison and here and there. Speaking to criminals.
Yeah. When you speak to them directly, they're going to tell you what they're looking for.
Yeah.
Right? And so, I should have wrote a book. I could have probably made a lot of money if actually.
You should. You should have a book. Sunnahfollowers ready for that.
Yeah, we're all ready for that. But, they tell you what they're looking for. Right? They'll tell you. So I'll ask them, like, who's your victim? Like, how do you really find that person that you're going to rob or steal or kidnap or, who do you look for? And they all say basically the same thing. We look at the way that person walks.
The person walk.
We look at we look at if that person is being distracted.
Okay, a lot of people distracted, especially on the phone. Yes.
And we look at their eyes. Like, what are they looking at? Are they looking down at the ground, or are they looking up with their held up high?
Oh, right? They walk down or around or straight.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And so when they see that, they automatically know, okay, we can't go with this guy because he's too confident in the way he walks. Or he looks too confident, so we're not going to get that person.
That's very good,
right? And so, explain to the kids and explain to the parents how to explain to the kids when you're out and about. You got to walk with your head up, right? You got to look the part, even if you're not, even on the inside, if you're not confident, you have to act like it on the outside, because that's how people seem to how those criminals seem to look for. They look to see the weak person, the distracted person. And when you talk about distraction, and I ask, what do you mean distracted? Because a lot of times we feel like the music is a distraction or I'm not distracted, I'm fine. But are you really not distracted? Because a lot of the times they'll say, we look for the people who are walking around and they're walking around like this.
The majority of the people.
You walk around the neighborhoods or you walk around or people are jogging and they're like this.
Yes.
And so
even in the car.
So when you're walking around outside and you're like this and you have a kid next to you, your son or your daughter's next to you, and you're this way, what's happening over here.
Yeah.
You're not paying attention to what's happening on this side of you or that side of you. You're not looking around. You're not paying attention. You're so into your phone. So they look for these things, and it's amazing to me how simple it is to just look for somebody and look at somebody and say, that's going to be my next victim. I'm going to look that person right there. They're looking down. They're scared. They're timid. They're not confident. They're lacking something. And so we're going to go ahead and take from that person. Especially when you look at the gas stations, for example. Let's talk about the gas stations.
Gas station, a lot, yeah.
A lot of, we all get gas. Everybody gets gas, and we're all trying to just get our gas and go home. But a lot of times, and especially now, even now, right now, we notice this in the field that where people will be putting gas, men and women. They'll pump the gas, they'll put the gas in the gas tank, they'll let it go, and then they'll just sit on the back of their cars on their phones, or they'll sit back looking at the pump, not looking to see that there's a car coming around the corner, two guys running out, going into your car and stealing your purse or stealing your wallet.
That's very important, brother and sister. A lot of people know that, but except me.
Alhamdulillah.
Ask me why.
Why?
My wife, there is no way for her to make gas. I had to do it.
Yeah.
But in the car, she's working with her phone.
Yeah.
Working on the phone. Yeah. But the key actually, it's very important, brothers and sisters, to take care of yourself, especially in the car.
And
it's especially in the car, by the way, male and female.
Both. It doesn't matter, man or woman. And see, that's the thing. I think we always want to assume that it's just for the females. I'm just talking to the woman. Us men, we have to understand too. If someone's going to come and rob you while you're putting gas, and they're taking your wallet, or they're taking your phone, or they're taking something out of your car, and you're too busy looking at the pump, by the time you realize that they stole from you, they're gone.
Yes. Normally the pump, they put it there, and it's running.
Yeah.
So the key, brother, when bump, it's okay, but still look around.
Look around. Look where you're walking. Yeah. Watch where you're walking. I know people do jogging. People go walking. People play sports. My biggest thing is when you're out there jogging, when you're out there walking, when you're out there playing sports, don't put the earphones on your ears. Don't put the earbuds in there and listen to whatever you're listening to and not paying attention to the sounds around you. Right? You want to be able to hear if somebody's coming up from behind you. You want to hear if somebody's coming up from the side.
Yeah.
You want to be able to hear the noises, the stepping, the foot point, the foot beats, whatever you want to step on or whatever you want to hear, because you want to be able to pay attention to what's going on behind you and around you while you're out there jogging or playing or doing what you got to do. I think that's one of the things that we kind of like forgot.
I like that. Yes. Alhamdulillah. Myself, when I go to the gym, I listen.
Mm-hmm.
But what Sheikh Al-Husari read, and I read with him, but still I look around.
You have to look around.
Even in the gym.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter where. Because as far as you are Muslim, you are target.
You're a target. Especially now we go.
You're target.
Now we talk about the women, especially the women who wear hijabs.
Yes.
They're the ones who like kind of get looked at like you gotta remember, if you're not really looked at like a regular American or regular Western person when you're wearing hijab, and so you're going to become a bigger target, a bigger liability out there on the outside. So you have to understand that there's a lot of hate out there right now for us.
Again, brother, everybody have to listen. Everybody hate.
There's a lot of hate.
A lot of hate.
A lot of hate for us.
A lot of Muslims.
A lot of Muslims. There's a lot of hate for Muslims. And unfortunately, as much as I've seen people's mindsets shift to understanding that, it's not true. Whatever they're saying on social media, whatever they're saying they're on the news, it's not true. A lot of people have researched Islam and became Muslims thanks to the stuff that's been happening, right? They see this stuff on the news. Let me research Islam. Let me see if this is legit, what they're saying on the media. And then they find out what Islam is all about, and then they convert to Islam.
Yes.
But there's so many people out there that just hate on the Muslims.
Yeah.
And they look and we understand as Muslims, men, as Muslims, and we watch the news. Everybody sees what's going on social media. When you're watching and you're seeing, you understand that the most people that get attacked from the weak people that have that much hate are going to be our women and children. They are.
Yes.
Right. And so if you're not aware of your situation, of your surroundings, right? So I was talking to some people and they're like, oh, you want us to be, scared and stay in the house. We walk at Allah. We just depend on Allah. That's great. I get it. I understand it. And I'm not telling anybody to be scared. That's the last thing I'm asking people to be. is not to be scared.
No. Actually, don't be scared, but scare somebody gonna attack you. You have to be careful.
Be aware.
Yeah, be aware.
Be aware.
Yes, be aware. Yeah.
And so that's kind of what I understand from, we always say, well, what could Allah will protect us. Yeah, but Allah doesn't protect those.
Allah make reasons for us. Yeah. Allah told us Allah said وهدينا المطففين وهديناه النجدين. We give you brain to think.
Yeah.
Your brain right, wrong. Yes.
And even like on set when I was doing the talk at the university the other day, the simplest things I was telling them about how to keep their houses safe, how to keep their cars safe, people don't really think about it, right? We have this perception that we're always going to be safe, or that, oh, it's okay, I'm fine. People, the simplest things as leaving, now everybody has these key fobs, right?
Yeah.
For their keys. People just put it in their cars, start their cars, go where they got to go, come home, and then leave the keys in the car, because we don't have to put them in the thing anymore. We don't have to put them in we don't have to use them to start the car anymore.
Why?
Because they just forget, or they khalas, it's in my car, it's okay, it's fine. But no, you don't understand. If you keep your key fob in the car, you can easily go to a car and press the button and it opens because the key's already in there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so if I could do that easy, you could do that easy. A robber, if somebody can come and steal your car, so simple.
So you just mentioned in the beginning something very important.
Mm-hmm.
You went to those criminals.
Mm-hmm.
You deal with it in prison or here or there. Give me some things, especially targeting for not regarding Muslim or non-Muslim.
Mm-hmm.
You target some certain people, especially with the money, with the garb, with the looking. Give me some examples for the people to be aware more.
So a lot of times they'll tell me we look for people who show off, right? People
show off,
who show off, like oh, look how much, like look at my fancy purse, or look at my watch.
Okay. I mean the purse, the
clothes. They look for that kind of stuff, and they see, okay, that person that person has a little bit of money. That person might have some money, and they're really flashy.
I mean, this is for females,
both men and women. You'll have men who come around dressing up and have stacks of cash in their pockets, and they'll look for these things. They'll look for the bulge in the pocket. If they have a bulge in their pocket, that's most likely to have, money in their pocket, or a big wallet in there. But what's in that wallet? They look for that kind of stuff to see how that person's acting, how that person's walking, the lack of confidence, but the amount of money, or vice versa. The people, the criminals, they're very smart to know how to really just look for that right person. Because I've asked them too, and a lot of times I've said to them, do I look like the kind of person that you would rob from? And they say, oh no, Mr. Mohammed, you're too, you walk with too much confidence. Like you walk, like you're going somewhere, like you have some type of, you have an important meeting to go to, right? And I never understood what that meant until I heard, a couple years ago after that, somebody said to me, every time you walk with, like you're going somewhere important. I don't know how I'm doing it or how I'm walking. But then I said, okay, let me start teaching my kids how to do this, because these criminals have given me all this information. Let me show my kids how to do this. Yeah. You got to walk with confidence. You got to walk with like authority, like you're going somewhere, like you're late for an important meeting or something like this. And then you have to keep looking around and scanning and seeing and watching and knowing your surroundings, right? If you see a car creeping up from behind you really slowly, tinted windows, be aware. You know what's going to happen,
especially
now. And then we look at this time that we're living in, where everything's out in the open, right? All the bad is out in the open. Everybody knows now the truth about what's happening overseas. Everybody sees everything that's happening.
But some other people against that, the support this killing massacre.
Oh, they support. They support, and so we're the targets now.
Yeah.
So they can't get over there overseas. So they're going to try to take it over here.
And also, brothers and sisters, very important. Our government controlled by certain people.
Oh yeah,
controlled 100%. The election, the voting, this control the ruling. Doesn't matter who. So we have to be careful. Also, Allah said, argue with them with a very intelligent way.
Yes.
You have to protect yourself with your brain, with thinking, with confidence, being strong.
And you can't be confident if you don't know what you're talking about.
Indeed.
Right. So if you're not educated on how to discuss things with people, how to talk about what's happening overseas, or how to talk about Islam in general, right? If you're not confident to talk about Islam in general, don't talk about it. right? It's many times people.
Oh yes, you're right with
Yeah,
that.
I mean, how many times? I don't know how many times I do these trainings on Islam with the non-Muslims, the difference between the religion and the culture. And there's a lot of times where they'll ask me questions that I don't know, and I'll say, "Listen, let me get back to you. Let me get your email address. Let me ask a sheikh or an imam, and then I'll answer your question."
Yeah, good. Yeah, excellent. Yeah.
There's no shame in saying I don't know.
You know, when I become an imam, like more than 30 years ago,
Mhm.
sometimes I ask from a graduate at Azhar University with a scholar with a Islamic university, but still I don't know. So let me ask.
Yeah,
Let me ask.
absolutely.
Yeah, it's very important to ask also, especially for security. You have to ask. You have to teach your kids that. You know, a lot of kids actually. Oh no! I know how to take care of myself.
Yeah.
You know, one of my kids actually, my younger one. Oh, I know how to defend myself.
Mhm.
You know, but actually recently I met an imam when I was in the city. I don't want to mention name. And I said, oh, Sheikh Ibrahim, I always go to the gym. I have my gun. When I walk in masjid, I always have my gun. I said, Imam, young imam. I was, oh, I'm very proud of you. But the key also, not the gun is not the issue.
No, it's not the answer.
Awareness,
exactly.
exactly.
It's not just the answer.
Awareness is the key.
Awareness, being aware of where you're going, even if you're going out to a restaurant.
Yeah.
Right. And I always get
outside
of the house. You're going to a halal, inshallah, you guys are all going to halal restaurants, and you're sitting down at the restaurant. As a man, I always like to sit down looking at the door.
Listen, actually, I do the same. That's very important. Even in a restaurant, facing the door, to enter. Yes.
Who's coming and going? What, how are they looking? How are they walking?
But a lot of people now will enter a restaurant, they take their phone.
Oh yeah, that's
score. That also, don't forget, in the house you can do that.
Yeah.
Not in the house, your family you can do that. Yeah. But outside, that's dangerous to do.
Put the phones down. Just put the phones down and look and watch. And actually, it's funny when you go to a restaurant and you put your phone down and you just look at everybody else in the restaurant. You'll see the kids on their tablets, their phone, the parents on their phones. Nobody's talking to each other, and they're all eating, but they're all on their phones at the same time.
Only Muslims.
No, non-Muslims.
The only Muslims, they take the phone and texting, even the table.
Even all
but
of us.
Non-Muslims, I went to the restaurant. I was surprised actually.
Yeah.
Only us doing that.
SubhanAllah. And you watch how people interact with each other. And I think all the time you have to understand that there's people that when they'll see you at a restaurant, when they walk into these people that are coming into the restaurant, they're not knowing what they're walking into. They're just walking in to eat. But then they see a Muslim family, or they see something something that they don't like, or something that they've been told to hate all their lives. Because a lot of these people, you're not born hating.
No, exactly.
You're taught to hate. Right? It's a learned process. You keep putting the news and the social media and the movies to say these people are bad. These people are terrorists. These people are Sharia. Oh my gosh, Sharia law. These people, they've been brainwashed to think this. So if you see a girl wearing this, that means you have to be afraid of her. She's trying to kill you, or she's trying to do something bad to you.
If our government follow Sharia, we are the most safe and strong country ever.
Yeah, but then there would be no alcohol business. There would be there'd be a lot of banking system would fall apart.
Yeah,
there'd be a lot of people losing a lot of money off of that. And so that's kind of what it comes down to when I try to explain to people is looking around, watching your surroundings, keep your head up. Don't keep your head down on your phone when you're pumping gas, when you're out there getting groceries. A lot of times, people always ask me, why do you always park backwards every time you come home, or every time anywhere I go, I always park backwards. And that's how I taught my kids how to park backwards. That's the first way I taught my kids.
I have a problem with that. I do, but problem with me.
Yeah, but now it's easy. You have cameras in the back of your car.
Yeah, mashallah, my wife, every time. She accept me. But sometimes, not always.
But there's a big good reason
for
that.
Tell me why. That's a good point. I want to learn myself.
Yeah.
But why?
And there's a lot of reasons for parking backwards. For me, it's if something happens, you want to be able to just get out real quick. Right.
Yeah, so it's Fajr. Yeah, I do that actually. When I come back,
when you're coming back from the grocery store, I know grocery store is a little bit different because you got to park and go to groceries.
Yeah.
But I always say, when you're going out to the movies, when you're going to the restaurant, you're going somewhere that you need the trunk. Like you're not, then you just park it backwards. So if something happens, you got to run and you got to get out. It's easy to just pull up and go.
That's excellent. I'm learning now.
And that's more like a law enforcement thing too. If you ever notice, even police cars, 95% of the time, they park backwards because if they got to go, they get a call, and you got to go.
You need that. You're right with that. Yes, actually, I do this in Salat al-Fajr because after the Shah came to Salat al-Fajr, sometimes water I cannot. Normally fast, but you're right. I'm gonna do that now.
And the other thing is, when you're coming from Salat al-Fajr or you're coming from someplace, don't press the unlock button before you get to your car. Press it when you get to your car.
Oh,
the unlock button. We're always pressing the unlock button on our keys, and we're looking, and you see that it's blinking.
In the masjid, I never lock it.
No, that's good. That's not good.
That in the masjid, yes.
No.
Outside, yes.
Listen, I'm always locking doors.
No. I leave in the masjid. I leave my wallet, my phone.
Don't listen to him. Lock your doors, even in the masjid. Lock your doors because
I don't carry anything.
Yeah, because there's people out there that know where the masjids are. They're going to come after the masjid sooner or later. You have to always be aware of the situation.
Done. Khalas.
Yeah, you have to be careful.
I'm learning.
It's tough because these are the habits that we've grown to do.
No. Actually, the masjid. I feel the masjid is the house of Allah.
So, in the masjid, not outside the masjid.
Yeah, you're right.
When you're parking.
Okay, you're right with that. I really jazakallah khair.
But also Allah tells us to
everybody jazakallahu khair, jazakallahu khair.
But honestly, we do these things without thinking. We walk to our cars, and as we're walking to our cars, we're pressing the button to unlock the door, not realizing that at any time somebody can pop out, go in the back seat, and hide.
That means when some people actually like a while, boom. But no, when you come to the car,
when you get to the car, you unlock it once, because a lot of times the key. I'm trying to explain to people who have the key fobs, who understand this. When you press your button one time to unlock, it just unlocks your front door. When you press it twice, it unlocks all the doors.
But my wife, she do that. I don't know why are you doing this. I'm a New Yorker. I'm a New Yorker. And then in New York is a lot of crime. Yeah, but honestly, he's right. And we should be aware of yourself. Your car is amana.
It's amana.
You want to protect yourself. Teaching your kids that. Actually, I'm learning this new for me. Only in a masjid, and I do it just in case. You never know.
You never know. Yeah, and I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to be scary or make everybody scared or make everybody nervous. But we have to be aware of what we're doing. There's habits that we do on a daily basis that we don't realize that we're doing it. Right? I guarantee you now, when people for here on Sunnahfollowers, inshallah, when they're going to get gas, they're going to look at themselves and say, "Oh man, this is exactly what Muhammad was talking about."
Yes, right? A lot of cases we know in the TV and something. A lot of people got killed like this,
and they get killed, they get robbed, kids get kidnapped. I mean,
and kidnapped too.
Yeah, it's very scary.
Kidnapped. Actually, it's a lot of kidnapped people, kids. Is amana. Be careful. We aware, especially the phone. Yes,
absolutely. We're so distracted. Especially, I'll give you another example. Parks. All right, we like to take our kids to the parks.
Yeah,
and we talked about that. I think last couple of weeks ago when we had some ideas of what to do with our kids.
Yes, in the beginning, when school started, 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
2 weeks ago, we said the best thing for kids and that's cheap and free is take your kids to the parks.
Yes.
The problem that we have now, especially during the summer, is because people are going to the parks and people think they're safe. Khalas, there's so many kids around and the parents are around, it's safe. And then what happens? The moms pick up their phones and they sit on the bench and they're like this on their phones while their kids are playing in the park, not paying attention to their children.
Excellent point. Yeah.
And so there you go. Another example of being distracted.
Brother, this is very important. You go to the park, especially you have kids. It's good to go to take your kids. Brother Mohammed mentioned that 3 weeks ago. Yes, encourage your kids to go outside. But at the same time, you have to be careful who's in the park.
Absolutely.
It's not only you. Yeah.
And look, because you'll see, I mean, there's some creepy guys out there that won't have any kids. They'll just come to the park and watch. And they'll look to see who's the parent that's being distracted. And then they'll see which kid is that parent's.
Be careful. That's excellent. Yes.
And so we as parents, I mean, I'm the kind of dad that if I'm at a splash pad with my kids and the little water that squirts out everywhere, I'm the dad that's in there with them. I'm getting wet. I'm playing around. I'm joking with my kids. I'm laughing with them. Not just because I'm trying to have fun with my kids, but also because I know if somebody's watching, they're not going to come over here. They're not going to come to where a grown man is over there with his little kid playing with his little kid. They're going to go look at the other section of the park to find those people that are being distracted with their phones or with their friends.
Because they are searching too.
Yeah, they're looking. Of course.
So we have,
I mean, listen, I talk to these guys and they told me, Mr. Mohammed, we will wait 3 or 4 days. We'll watch the same park, or we'll watch the same place for 2, 3, 4 days.
Hold on. You have to repeat this again. Those criminals.
Yeah, the criminals that you
ask them. You ask. What they doing?
Does it happen?
Everyone here.
So the question I asked is, does it happen instantly?
Not immediately.
No. Sometimes they'll wait 2, 3, 4 days to
planning
to look.
Where's the weakness in the area?
Where's the weakness in the area? Where's the entrances? Where's the exits? How can I get out here quick? Because I need to make quick getaway. And I guarantee you, those guys always park their cars backwards.
Oh my God!
Yeah, it's scary because when you talk to these people, it's not like you see on TV. A lot of people who watch these crime shows on TV, when you talk to these people, they talk to you so nonchalantly, like it's normal. Like it's normal. It's okay because I do it. It's all right. It's fine. And they're very open about it, very proud of the stuff that they've done. And so they'll teach you, they'll show you, they'll tell you how they do things. Yeah, we'll wait 2 or 3 days, sometimes even 4 days outside of Walmart to see and scope out the place and see who's the next victim. We know where's the cameras, where is this and where is that. And they'll see, they'll say, yeah, we see a lot of people who leave their cars, and as soon as they get out of their cars, they're on their phones walking towards Walmart.
Yes. Oh my Rabbi. Don't go to Walmart. Walmart, you have to boycott Walmart. Walmart sending money for the Zionism to kill children. Well, Target is better.
But still, even if you're in Target, make sure you're watching your situation.
Yes. But Walmart, you have boycotting the Walmart.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things we can do and kind of develop into a habit to make it that where our kids are aware of what's going on, aware of their surroundings, and kind of be smart when they go out, especially when they're going out by themselves or if they're going out with their friends.
That's scary when they go with their friends.
Yeah, it is scary.
They're competing. They're competing.
Yeah, well, everything's a competition with those kids.
Yeah, then we have to, may Allah protect your kids, brother and sister, but the kids, they have to understand the situation, the value of the family, of the household.
Yeah, and you also explain to your kids, okay, I know you're going out with your friends, but I need you to be safe. And so out of all your friends, I need you to be the one that looks around, that watches, that explains to your friends, this is what my father has taught me. This is what I've learned. Guys, we have to keep watching. To teach your kid to be that leader with your other kids. Because a lot of times you'll see if you look at a group of kids, it's going to be easy for you to know which one's the leader, and which one's going to be the followers. Right? We kind of know how that's going to operate. So teaching your kids to be aware of everything around them, and when they're out with their friends, okay, get it. You're going to have fun with your friends, but be aware of your surroundings.
Yes.
You're going to go to the movies with your friends. Okay, cool. Know who's in the movie theater with you. Understand that the movie theater is not just some regular place. It's a place that's dark, right? It gets dark. So understand that, I don't know how many years ago where the guy came in out of nowhere and just shut up a movie theater. I don't know, it's like 3-5 years ago or something, a long time ago.
Really?
Oh yeah, a long time ago.
Oh yeah, I heard it. Yeah.
So understand knowing, that kind of stuff, seeing where the exits are of every room you go into. Or a lot of people don't know that there's emergency exits in front of the movie theater, like at the front. Right? So when something happens, everybody's running towards the back. Because people get scared. That's the only way they know.
Yeah.
But you go in the back, in the front. There's doors in the front and the sides.
Many sides. Yeah.
But people don't realize these things. When you go to a restaurant, when you go to any place you go to, look at the exits. Right? If somebody's coming in from the front door and you're at a restaurant with your family and you see somebody coming in the front door and you see somebody looks a little shady and he has something in there, he's gonna pull out something, and something starts happening, there's an entrance in the back.
Yes.
Right? There's the emergency exit in the back. Run to the back and go through the back door and get out of there. Protect your family by knowing your surroundings.
May Allah guide the kids, may Allah guide us. Brother, wallahi, I feel this is really important for everyone. Yeah, but you also just mentioned September 11. And what's going on right now in Gaza, the Americans, actually the whole world,
The whole world.
and two sides. Two sides. But I feel also the majority of the sides with the Muslims.
Yeah. It's
But
more than it was back
when
in
before. Yeah. But the key, Brother Muhammad, is even the few odd numbers of the people gonna hurt the majority of the
Absolutely.
people. So we need some kind of plan now for the parents. And before that, what I was have, alhamdulillah, we still have done. So we need advices for the parents, number one, and for our kids, if they listen to us.
If they listen. I mean, alhamdulillah, inshallah, they're listening. Inshallah.
Maybe you, the parents, can tell your kids, we heard so and so and so from Brother Muhammad. Not from me, by the way. Why?
From the both of us.
Mine is halal, haram, I can answer. But him, I'm learning from him, honestly. Yes.
It's amazing now because, like you said, from 9/11 till now, it's shifted.
Indeed.
Right. And the population started to see the truth behind what's happening.
Yes.
They see what's going on overseas. So they talk to you differently.
Yeah.
They want to know, right? A lot of people are asking questions. Why? Is it about resources? Is it about it's about this? Is it at the end of the day, when you talk to people, it comes down to money, right? Money, control, power. That's what we talk to, people always put in their heads. But still, there's always those few people who still have that much hate in their hearts.
Yeah.
And they bring it here to wherever they came from, whether they came from, Israel or whatever it's coming from these places. And they come with all that hate and all that anger, and they see a hijabi, they see a Muslim, and all they want to do is do something bad. So making your kids, I think for me at least, what I'm trying to do is I try to teach my son how to be a warrior, right? You got to be hard when you're outside, but at the house you're soft.
Exactly. Right? In the house, we all love each other.
Exactly.
But outside, you have to. Yes. Yeah. I agree with you.
And so you got to learn you got to teach our kids how to turn it on and turn it off, right? Teach our kids how to be self-defense. Teach your kids how to talk, right? A lot of our kids are so antisocial because of the social media that they don't know how to talk to people face to face. They don't know how to communicate properly. So explaining to your kids how to answer some questions, how to talk about certain things, especially these big topics that are happening right now. Our kids don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Right? They don't know how to answer questions.
They fight immediately with others. Yeah.
They just fight.
Yeah.
So even when you look at these,
no solution.
There's no solution. So when that's not a solution. Fighting is not the answer. And I tell my kids all the time, we're not fighting. We're self-defense. We're defending ourselves. You have the right to defend yourself, no matter what happens. Somebody's coming after you. Somebody's coming to do something bad to you. You defend yourself.
By the way, the very important, Brother Muhammad, my son Abdurrahman, the old son, came from Gaza. He came here.
Mm-hmm.
The first year in school, it was elementary school, and they accused him his Palestinian in Gaza, and he fight in school. And guess what? He went to prison. He went to prison, and now we're talking about more than 35 years ago. Until now, he's in his record to get the job. He worked by himself, but mostly. If he apply, this always has record.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what? He never make crime. He defend himself in the school. And the school accuse him.
Absolutely. And you have to remember also, the institutions are not going to protect you. Right? It's the schools. No.
As far as you are Muslim, not
they're not going to be. No. Just put that in your mind that when I tell the kids who are going to protest, you better make sure that you're wearing a camera wherever you go, right? If you're going to go to a protest, if you're going to do something like this, you got to make sure that you have a camera, because at the end of the day,
you mean camera in the phone or
no, like on your GoPro camera or whatever type of camera that you can get, one of those little cameras, or even your phone, even if you don't want to buy one.
But if it's a small camera, you can carry it.
You can carry it like the little GoPros, those little cameras that they put on the bikes and all this.
Oh, you have your daughter also.
Yeah, I put one in my daughter's car, because at the end of the day, no matter how honest you are, it's going to be your word versus their word. And majority of the time,
I'm going to do that myself, actually. I told her that this is very important.
Yeah.
I'm going to put something in my car, You never know.
You never know.
Especially with ICE now and this and that. Yes, yeah.
Absolutely. And that's the other thing. We have the whole immigration thing. Everything's getting, way out of hand, where these guys are just coming in and grabbing and doing whatever they want to do.
Even American, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
American, same thing. It's not only Spanish or Latinos.
It's not just Spanish. It's not just Latinos. It's not just Black people. It's anybody and everybody who doesn't look the part, doesn't look like them, right? So you have to like really be having a lot of evidence to prove what happened to you.
Yeah, I know some people, American in the prison. His mom give me a certification. He is American, but he have no ID. Yeah, he's American.
Yeah.
Why you have to? Yeah, brother. Yes, I believe brother Mohammed had very nice. That a small camera in the house, in front of the house, I can carry it. I actually in the rally, I went to Washington rally. A lot of people carrying this camera.
The cameras.
Yeah, and this camera, you can make it in the social media with this.
Yeah, it's either live streaming or you're recording everything. You need some proof of what happened during that time, right? Because if you don't
you're around
that time, because if something happens while you're doing whatever it is that you're doing,
actually, you encourage me. Actually, wallahi, I'm gonna do it, inshallah. Yes,
because you have to remember, it's them who have the money, who have the work, who have the power, and us.
Yes.
Right. And we always, again, we say, walk to Allah, and Allah's going to protect us.
Allah will protect us. Allah will guide us how to protect you.
Yes.
Yourself.
Allah, you have to protect yourself first.
Surah Al-Imran, and Surah Al-Anfal, and Surah At-Tawbah. 3 surah in the Quran, and Nisa, how to prepare yourself if something attack you, what to do. But do not forget your salah.
Do not forget your salah. Yeah, absolutely. And
Allah taught us in the Quran, not hadith.
No,
Quran.
And it's amazing to me how people forget and they just assume that they're safe, right? And they assume, and we've seen it where a bunch of girls will go to a coffee shop and drink coffee with their friends, hijabi Muslim women, mashallah. We'll go out together and have coffee day, and then you'll see a random, guy who comes and sees that, and it's a trigger.
Yeah, I saw that in social media.
That trigger, that hijab is a very big trigger for a lot of people.
Yeah,
and so as a hijabi woman or as a Muslim woman in general, know how to defend yourself, know how to handle yourself, right? And if somebody's coming after you and yelling and screaming, don't go back yelling and screaming at that person. You're just going to escalate the situation. Right? If somebody's yelling, what are we supposed to do? You talk quiet. Okay, what's the problem? Why do you not like us? Like, what happened? What did somebody do something to you? Like, what's the situation? Why are you so angry? Right? You can't go up if somebody's yelling and you're gonna yell, and he's gonna yell and you're gonna yell, and then what's gonna happen?
Subhanallah, this woman actually accusing the sister with hijab, and they have a lot of makeup. I told her, go wash your face. To find the truth about you, wash your face.
Alhamdulillah. Listen, I don't judge. I mean, that's Allah's job.
My point, but yes, I agree with you, brother Muhammad. Yes, we really will have go and be free, but in the same time with this freedom, protect your own self.
Yes. Be aware.
Yes,
be aware of. I mean, I tell a woman all the time: carry mace, carry something, pepper spray, carry something with you to always keep yourself protected. You have the right to defend yourself.
Well, you encourage me actually. One of brother Chinese Muslim, he encouraged me to do some martial arts to teach me online. But I think not online. You have to be face to face. Maybe the Sunnahfollowers, I was speaking to Sister Layla to have some kind of self-defense on Zoom. Maybe we can do that. Inshallah, let me prepare myself for this.
Listen, there's a lot you can do online that's good. We always talk about social media like it's bad, that it's so scary, and that's I'll give you an example. The other day, my son, we said we get to notice that he downloaded an app to learn Arabic.
My son too.
By himself.
My son too.
And I said, look, my wife, what is this? I'm trying to learn Arabic so I can keep up with you guys.
My oldest son actually, he speaks only Arabic. When I speak English, Arabic. And I like accept the other kids. And now my daughter is the same thing. Alhamdulillah.
So there's good. There's a lot of good. You can learn martial arts, you can learn karate, you can learn self-defense techniques, you can learn things on social media if you look for it.
Allah said in Surah Al-Imran, أعوذ بالله كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس. Allah said, كنتم خير أمة. The best nation that Allah created us as a Muslim. but also not in the face.
Mhm.
The brain has beautiful and strong, and Allah loves us to be strong. By the way,
Absolutely.
not only fighting with knowledge.
With knowledge and our hearts. Our hearts have
Yes.
to be strong. We have to be proud of who we are.
I also in Sunnahfollowers here. What does Shaitan want of us? A lot of you, what does Shaitan want? Oh, to leave the Islam, to do this. No, Shaitan want my heart.
Yeah.
If you control my heart, you control everything.
Everything.
If you control your own hearts,
Absolutely.
you're on the safe side.
Yeah. I mean, we see it in marriages. We see it in relationships. We
Yes.
see it with kids and parents. We see it. We see the Shaitan likes to harden that heart up.
Indeed.
Right.
Indeed.
And so we have to always, like I tell the kids in the youth groups and everything, you got to have a soft heart, but a tough mind.
Yes.
Know when to do what you need to do to defend yourself and to defend your family.
Yes.
Right.
Our example, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, well, he died with 63 years, but 63 years he was fighting.
Yeah.
The Sahaba, the majority of the Sahaba, it's not senior.
Absolutely.
And the senior, they conquered Egypt and the East and part of China and Spain and more and more. And they are senior.
Yeah. Absolutely.
The key, the brain to be a Muslim brain.
I think we also forget that, like you said, the age, right? We
Regardless
of the age, we forget that our elders have a lot of knowledge, right? And I think in this society, this culture, the Western culture, we kind of throw away our elderly.
We'll have to go back to this statement.
Yeah, I know you liked it.
Yes, a lot. Because why? A lot of kids, their father more than 60, like senior. No. We are in America.
They're old school.
Old school.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
Old school.
Yeah.
The old school, by the way, Brother Muhammad, as I just mentioned, that is very important. Old school, the smart school. Intelligent with experience.
With experience. And I think that's when we have to really dive down deep into like understanding these people have been here longer than you. Right? They've been through more than you. They know how to deal with life before the internet, before social media, before all that distraction came. These guys know what's going to happen, and history repeats itself.
Indeed,
right?
Yes, I agree.
So if you're in your 60s or your 70s, you should tell these people, like, have a night where you're having coffee with all the family, drinking coffee, tea, whatever you're having with everybody there, grandkids there, and tell the stories. Right, inform the generations that
a lot of kids like that, but not the majority.
Not the majority, but I think what we do is if you're the elderly person and the way you explain things, the way you talk to things, make it exciting, make it fun for the kids to want to sit down and learn where they came from, understand what you've been through.
Actually, now my older son, told me to have a group for all my kids. And in YouTube, well, not YouTube, but in the phone, WhatsApp, and tell you about your life.
Yeah,
when you're born, and very good for the parents, to tell your kids to like a video,
tell your story,
and sometimes maybe they're not going to listen, but something happened to you that you record. Yeah,
and that's what I kind of explain to people. Like the kids right now, maybe the 9-year-olds, 11-year-olds, maybe they're going to be bored, they don't want to listen. But I guarantee you, if you make a video of yourself and recording of yourself, and you have your whole life story on a channel or on a YouTube, or you have it saved on a hard drive, or you have it. Yeah. When they get older, they're going to want to listen to that.
Yes, indeed. I agree with you. And subhanAllah, I did that, but I'm going to do it again for my kids. They asked me, I started, and I did it. But I said, you're right.
We used to have to write books. Now you can make a video.
Yes, everything in our hands.
Alhamdulillah.
So the key, may Allah bless you, brother, and protect you and your family, Ya Rabbi. I mean, now especially we are no school. The majority of our kids no school. This school, we need to protect our kids with their honor, with dignity. Don't forget, Allah choose us as the best nation that Allah had created for us as far as we're Muslim. Regardless of what nationality, what color, what language,
matter.
As far we are Muslims, we are the best to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Also feel that strongly, but at the same time, protect yourself from that evils around us.
Absolutely. And we've seen it in real life where these non-Muslims convert to Islam, and you see
a lot.
You see how like everything just kind of like it looks like it just gets off of them, like all the pressure, all the stress that they've been through all their lives, it just goes away.
Yes.
Right. And we as Muslims, I don't care where you're from, but we have that already here in us, and we forget. Right. Our kids forget the honor, they forget the discipline, they forget the loyalty, they forget the compassion, they forget all that stuff because they're so entrenched into the West and the way the mindset is in the West. So as family, as parents, as elders, as board members of the masjid, as imams, we have to it's our responsibility to put that back in their hearts.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
Right.
Yeah.
And so once you see these kids really gravitating back towards the Islam, the real Islam in their hearts, you'll see the whole mindset just change.
Yes.
They'll stop caring about the haram stuff. They'll stop saying, oh, my friends are doing this, I want to do that. They'll stop, because they'll know when you have that heart of Islam, that's the heart of a leader. Right? Islam is all about leader.
Indeed,
it's all about being leaders.
We are leaders.
We are leaders.
Yes, we are leaders.
We don't have any good leaders, but we are leaders.
Yeah, unfortunately, so far.
Inshallah, inshallah, sooner or later.
Yeah, that's very. I know some people actually last week they tried to sign in. Go to sunnahfollowers.net. Actually, the Sunnah followers, they have an access. You can have a question for Brother Muhammad, not for me, please. That's only for Muhammad. Go to the website with Sister Layla, to the Sunnah followers, and ask any question, inshallah, before the time, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair, inshallah. Yeah, brother, we're almost finished, inshallah. Now, we need really a plan, really, for our kids. Not the parents. Our kids to start now. The children.
So one thing that I'll tell the kids,
for the kids.
Yeah, hopefully the kids, if there's kids on here listening in to this conversation,
Stop your phone. Actually, somebody had the phone on for a few minutes, inshallah. Yeah.
So I think for the kids, one of the things I tell them is, I get it. We can't get away from social media.
Yes,
right?
we can.
We can't. So social media is going to be there.
Yes.
So if you get 10 minutes, 20 minutes online, to be online on your phones or on your tablets, look up self-defense videos. Right? Don't wait for your parents to.
I love that.
Don't wait for your parents to take you somewhere. Don't. Your parents we're busy, right? We're always busy. We're trying to work. We're trying to make sure you have
boys and girls.
Boys and girls. Oh yeah, boys and girls, men and women, boys and girls. Watch the self-defense videos on YouTube. Watch what happens to you guys once you start to search those self-defense videos. Watch what happens to your news feeds, right? I'm
gonna do that with Sister Layla. I promise you. And after I'm gonna speak with her to make a plan to teach it here, inshallah.
Teach it here. Teach it. I mean, there's so many videos out there that people are teaching you how to, if somebody pulls your hair, if somebody's pulling your hijab, if somebody's doing this, or somebody's doing that, there's videos that you can watch to prepare yourself, right?
I love this.
And the best way to, as a kid, the best way to learn, and this is how the majority of kids learn, is by repetition, watching it over and over and over again, right? Watching the same video 5, 10, 15 times, really, it'll get stuck into your head.
Allah, you make me really happy. I'm very sad, by the way. My nephew got killed today. He went to get food for his kids, and they shot him on airplane and shot him. And they killed, everybody get the food, got killed. And food, include my nephew. But it's very important, brother and sister, we really set defense now online, that you have really to be tough.
You have to be tough.
Especially now.
Especially now.
Because
we know for truth that those guys, those people won't attack men. They're afraid of men. They're gonna go after women. They're gonna go after children. They're gonna go after the people that they feel that they can grab, because they know they're weak against men. They know they can fly an airplane and they can kill somebody, but they can't do face to face.
Yeah.
Right. They know that for a fact. We all know that. Everybody sees that. That's the truth, and that's how it is. So teaching your kid, and as a kid, again, watch those videos. Right. No. You're gonna see, once you start looking up self-defense videos on TikTok, on YouTube, or whatever you're watching, you're going to start to see the news, your feed, as you're scrolling, start to change.
All these books you read up in there, that's for karate.
Oh, mashallah, the karate ones.
Karate,
Mashallah. So you should be making videos.
In Sunnahfollowers, not for, actually, what Brother Salah, he encouraged me. Online?
Yeah.
I said, believe me, Sheikh Ibrahim, a lot, and he texts me. But I'm going to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Inshallah, Sister Layla, if you listen to us, remind we have to make a plan 1 or 2 days a week to the self-defense for boys and girls and for everybody in Sunnahfollowers itself.
And just an example, if you're making these videos, because I know kids' mentalities, they can't watch too long.
Yeah, no, just only one movement
Like
every time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes maximum.
Yeah, and then boom, you're done. Move another.
Yeah. Self-defense, not karate.
Self-defense. How to get away from somebody. I mean, I'm actually, I send videos to my kid on how to become faster, right? How to run faster.
How to throw you with a shot, with a knife. How to defend yourself with that. No problem. We'll do that inshallah.
Absolutely. And honestly,
thank you, Jazakallah khair, brother Mohammed.
Honestly, I tell the kids, because especially when they're going to go to high school, right? The 9th graders.
Yes.
I tell them, remember this now. You're going to go from an Islamic school, which is a little bubble, to a public school, which is a huge ocean.
And we're going to do that.
Yeah, and those oceans, they're bullying, they're picking on you. So you understand that if you're fat, lose the weight, take care of yourself, exercise, get yourself fit, get yourself ready. You have to be able to be quick, right? You have to understand that they're not going to care what you feel or they're bullies, right? And that's what's happening now, even on the outside, when they're talking trash, when they're trying to fight with you.
Brother Muhammad, but something very important. As you know, I was sick for a long time. When Allah Azza wa Jalla gave me shifa, I went home. I was wheelchair. I cannot even walk.
Mm-hmm.
But alhamdulillah, my wife, she have in the hospital in a whiteboard. Because the doctor gave me 3 months to live, I will never walk again. I will never walk again. My wife have Arabic and English. In Arabic, خليك متفائل. English, be optimistic. When I wake up, that statement, and everybody, and my wife, she said, Ibrahim, I cannot even walk. I cannot even walk, period. Each, me, in front of me, I try to do barely. And step by step, alhamdulillah. So, brother, is
repetition
is the best things here. We have, we almost finished. You have a question? Somebody actually have.
I have a statement. Can you hear my fans and stuff?
Yes.
Am I quiet?
You're
okay.
good.
I want to suggest, we teach children everything. We can also teach them to respect adults, to respect the elders, because that's how I grew up.
Absolutely.
I knew better than to stand up in front of any of my elders and act like I didn't have good sense. Because I'm supposed to have good sense enough to know to go to these people in order to learn how to have better sense. So we have to teach our children too how to respect us.
It is.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, Sister Anisa, Sister Anisa, by the way, Saturday class, she won't read in English in the Quran. She read, mashallah, she's very good. We love Sister Anisa, mashallah.
Alhamdulillah.
I agree with you, Sister. Wallahi, fair. Very important with that. Karate, by the way, is to learn karate, we teach how to be, how to deal with the other, with adab, akhlaq, morality, and respecting each other, especially with the parents. Inshallah, I will speak to Sister Layla regarding this. I'm going to have our kids learning self-defense with how to have that morality and akhlaq and more, inshallah.
There is one thing I will say that
we are released a lot of things with Brother Muhammad.
One last thing is that, because I know we have like 2 minutes left. If you're a Muslim man and you're walking around different grocery stores and you see a Muslim woman by herself, because a lot of times, just today we saw that when I was walking around, and a woman by herself with her child, just be aware of what's going on around that person as well. Because a lot of times our Muslim women are out there, they still got to do the grocery shopping, they still got to do what they got to do, and they still have to take their kids out with them, especially now during the summer. So if you're a Muslim man with your family or whoever, if you're by yourself, just watch their back, right? Watch each other's back, right? Take care of each other. We gotta watch out for each other.
Yeah.
Because nobody's gonna care about us except for ourselves.
نسأل الله تعالى أن يحفظ المسلمين في كل مكان. اللهم احفظهم وارعاهم يا رب، وانصر المستضعفين في كل مكان. وصلى الله على محمد وآله وصحبه وسلم. And جزاكم الله خيرا. بإذن الله, this week, Monday, 7 o'clock in our times, Florida time, we'll continue with Brother Muhammad. جزاك الله خير Brother Muhammad. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.